And we back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. What y'all got going on, man? Shout out to the Rant Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club, man. Today's episode is entitled, Do You Have Delusional Losers Disease? And you probably asking yourself, what the fuck is that, Jamerson? I'm going to tell you what it is. Some shit I just made up, but it's some shit that is actually pretty accurately describing some of you niggas out there that just do not lose. It's like some you niggas must like losing because I'll tell you what inspired this episode. I mean, okay. Um, Shout out to my sponsor, Kicks. This episode is brought to you in part by Kicks, the luxury shoe brand brought to you by moi. I'll leave a link in the description. Um, Check those out for me, man. But listen, I I don't have time. I don't have time to listen to your loser stories, your delusional. Why you listen? Losers gonna lose, bro. Losers gonna lose, and I don't like to say like I'm just like come from this place where I've never taken L's. It's not that, but I just it's just way too common for people to just do what they've already been accustomed to doing, and that's for the most part is losing. I mean, it must be because a lot of you niggas do not know how to properly transition. And I talked about this a little bit on the last episode, but I'm gonna kind of expound on it a little bit more because I haven't been really ranting about things recently, and this show is designed to help niggas. So I'm gonna talk shit. If you can make it through this shit talk session, though, you'll be a better nigga on the other side of this, and or a female. And I'm not just talking like white or black. I'm saying like you might be ignorant to the fact that you just are accustomed to losing. Because if things aren't changing, there aren't more happening. There isn't things doing, there ain't things to make you uncomfortable. You're in a rut. When you're on the journey to places, you're not going to see the same things over and over and over all the time unless you are going in circles, man. And some of you niggas don't, for let's just say you're playing a video game for you niggas that play video games and you're on level 4, right? You've made it past 1, 2, 3, you're on 4. There's 6 levels on this until you like beat the game or something, but usually it's like 10. But you beat the level boss, and then let's say you beat, or you maybe you avoid the level boss, but you enjoy being on level 4 so much because you had some level of success on level 4. You don't really feel the need to go past level 4. You got 6 more levels in you, but you haven't desired to even go past this level. You can't stay in third grade forever. I heard about a nigga that actually literally flunked his grade just because he liked the teacher in third grade so much he can keep going back to that grade or that teacher. And that's a lot of you niggas, whether you want to admit it or not. That's why, I mean, you don't like your girl nagging you. You don't like this, you don't like that, but you don't like doing shit on of your own fruition. You have to be coaxed into it. And you're a loser. Now I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. Because you keep going back to the same shit over and over and over. You're unhappy, you this, you that, you're not gonna do the right shit to change it. You might not know what to do to change it, but you're not gonna do whatever it takes because it would require that you do something other than what you've always done, and that's lose for the most part. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, you know what I mean? You're depressed, and I get it. You need to work out or do something to get past what's going on right now. You might not know how to look past what's going on right now. You might not want to see past what's going on right now. And this might not be helping for those. So this is not a suicide hotline. You niggas that's about to jump, I'm not here to talk you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, you know, get you to have more spice in your life, but I'm not if you about to go, don't listen. Just turn this shit off because this will probably make you jump, to be honest. But I'm not I'm just and that's not funny. Suicide is not funny. What is funny though is just like this feminine attitude, like somebody is supposed to, you know what I mean? Somebody gotta help you, and somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you shit, bro. You know. And I say that in so many different ways, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like people are calling and asking for advice about shit that they just really want a pacifier. And they mean, that's kind of a feminine energy, if you ask me. It's like you just want to talk about your problem, but you don't want to solve it. And you have the same problem. You don't realize that as much as you want to blame everybody else, it's probably you. Because you're picking these individuals. You're allowing them to pick you or something is off. But that's all I'm gonna get to this, man. I only had about 10 minutes to get to that. Like I said, man, I've been upward mobility, man. So my days have been jam packed with my own issues and with all these different balls in the air, man. I don't have time to dedicate time to people who don't really want to try to do nothing different. And it's kind of a shame, man. Because people need to be able to transition from one lane to the next one. Which would, mean you gotta look over your shoulder. You look in the rearview, but you gotta look over your shoulder. You gotta turn. You ain't been trained to do that. Some of y'all got stuck. Looking in the rear view, you're not worried about what's going on going forward because everything that's ever been cool that's happened to you is already happened. You don't want nothing new. You listening to Tupac still, you got nothing new going on. You still selling 10 bags. Like, now I don't want to hang with you niggas. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. Because yesterday's success is not tomorrow's success. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday's success was yesterday's success, man. You know, and tomorrow has its own set of problems, but y'all niggas like, Groundhog's Day. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Groundhog's Day is a movie where a nigga kept waking up, living the same day over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? But whatever. I got way more to cover today. I appreciate y'all for giving me your time and coming back for more of this abuse because I keeps it 100,000 with you, man. And I don't know if anybody has ever done that, so I don't expect a huge amount of views on these videos. I do, and I appreciate them. However many and however long you can get through this shit, but if you can't get through all this shit to get to the part that's funny or interesting or intriguing, because it's a lot of shit I'm gonna cover, right? Uh, that's kind of on you too. I do need to do more to clip these up and put timestamps, etc. So y'all can kind of maybe see and skip to the parts that you want to see. I'm going to get better about that, I promise. But for now, just shut the fuck up and listen. um, but today, yeah, man, it's not the day I normally do the show again. Uh, but it'll probably get more regular these next couple weeks because I won't be doing what I've been doing. Um, so I don't think it'll be Monday. I might, you know, I don't know. I can't promise you a day. I'm gonna get one done, but I'm gonna get one done soon, earlier in the week, maybe. I might not even release it till later, but some will happen because now we're paying for the studio time. This studio is getting used, whether I want to or not. I'm in here, so that I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no I. You know what I mean? Like I just for me, you can tell me what your problems are, but I can guarantee you mine are whatever. And I don't got time for your shit. So stop complaining, man. Boss up, bro. Boss up. Just whatever you gotta do. You can work out, get up earlier, go to sleep earlier, do something. But shut the fuck up and do it. Okay? Get rid of that bitch. Get rid of that nigga. Because if you still fucking the nigga and he ain't doing you right, guess what? You're part of the problem, bitch. You're part of the fucking problem. Because you don't want to be alone and shit like this. It's ridiculous. Anyway, um, on with the rest of the show. So, okay, so I got a lot of shit to cover. Um, mm, eh, the thing that I want to cover first, or we are still in a bit of a shutdown. So, you know, there are things going on with the airport. I don't know if that had anything to do with what was going on out there in LaGuardia Airport, but it don't sound like it was the TSA people or the, air traffic control. It sounds like it was on the part of the firefighters that were there on the tarmac, and they weren't listening to what was going on when you know the air traffic control told me to off the runway, move. You know what I mean? Whatever. So that happened, but and we'll just kind of let the rest of the show roll as best as it will, because I'll try to make it as smooth as possible. But that's where we're gonna start, and RP to the two guys that lost their lives. I think the captain and the co-captain lost their lives. So we'll talk about that, and we'll let the rest of the show take form as it comes up. Let me see. Uh, hmm, share my screen right quick. Anything. Uh,
Port is now closed. An Air Canada jet hit a fire truck on the runway. Now, this happened just before midnight. 2 pilots were killed. Dozens of other people are injured. This video from the scene showing the wrecked plane, nose tilted up to the sky. The crash truck is seen nearby. And here is the moment air traffic controllers knew something went wrong.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Yeah, 646, I see you collide with vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. Vehicles are responding to you now.
Now, how else was he supposed to say that shit? Like, stop, motherfucker, stop. Like, I see you collided with the vehicle. Just hold position until you can't move. Vehicle respond to you now. What the fuck?
Okay, joining us now with the very latest is CNN correspondent Gloria Pasmino. And Gloria, what are you hearing right now at LaGuardia?
Yeah, Audie, it's just devastating listening to that audio, hearing the radio operator telling the vehicle to stop. We now know that the vehicle collided with the airplane. There were 72 passengers aboard that aircraft, 4 crew members, and sadly, the pilot and the co-pilot were killed as a result of that collision. Now, dozens of passengers were also injured. 41 passengers and crew were transported to the hospital shortly after that collision. 31 of them have been released, and the 2 people who were inside the fire truck, which collided with the airplane, we are told, are in stable condition. Now, here's what happened, and as you look at the images, of the airplane. You can see the front of the airplane is completely destroyed. The collision happened around 11:40 last night. This is a Jazz Aviation.
And let me get y'all to understand something because I don't know what we think airplanes are made of, but it's not steel. Them motherfuckers is made of straight fiberglass. I guess because they're supposed to be lightweight. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let me take that back. I don't know if all of the plane is made of fiberglass, but I went to a spot in Tulsa like last week, and there was there was a bunch of noses for planes and shit. And dude was like, "Yeah, that's fiberglass." So I was asking him about the show a couple shows back where the dude think that the airplane bumped into an alien spacecraft and it made that indention in it. I was like, "What the fuck?" You know. I don't know. I thought it was made of steel, but they're not. And I mean, when you collide with something, they're not. I don't think they're made to, you know, collide with shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just not built for that. You know what I mean? So they don't take very much on gas. It was fucked up, bro. It was fucked up. Um, and you know, like I said, we in a shutdown right now. Uh, basically, and the TSA, I think they just passed something that said that Trump was going to make sure the TSA get a check Monday. They get paid. So congratulations to y'all. But um, they got to go to work and shit, and that's definitely the worst government job you can get. Why? I mean, I'm sure they didn't heard now that that they don't get. I mean, it's a lot of all government jobs don't get furloughed and shit like that, where they not funded. They don't have that for all branches. I mean, all parts of the government employment. But it is TSA, which I don't get what the requirements is for them to not get their money and shit. But it's ridiculous. Um, I got a guy. I guess the supervisor was on there talking about. Um, it's just hard. Dudes is not being paid. They cars is getting repoed. They don't got money to get to work. They ain't getting no gas. They got you know uh donations and shit set up so they can get food and shit. So it's like and they like trying to decide, do they need to go to work? They ain't got no babysitter money. The babysitter ain't finna keep taking credit from them. You know what I'm saying? The people have to be paid, and so it's causing a huge problem, bro. So shout out to you if you have to fly for a living or get on a plane to get back from whatever to go to Easter or whatever. Just safe travels, man, because man, them people stressed the fuck out. And I heard, I think they got ICE taking the place of a lot of TSA agents. That would piss me the fuck off. First of all, these motherfuckers, they paid, they good, they healthy, they ain't been trained, they don't know what the fuck they doing, but they in here and you standing there starving like a motherfucker. I mean, maybe not starving because it looked like they got a nice little spread in there in the rooms when they would have some areas where they're going to get lunch and shit. Because people that donated, but without that, what about the kids at the crib? Like, is they eating? You know what I mean? So it's like you stressed out because you got the job eating croissants with shit and shit, and chicken salad sandwiches or whatever you eating, and your kids in the back at the house hungry on the weekend because you ain't got nothing to eat, but you good. Like, it's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Because your bitch nigga can't even talk while he eat. He gotta mute the phone so she can't hear him chewing his shit. That's fucked up, bro. Like, hello? Yeah. Oh shit, is that right? Yeah, nah, it's not gonna work, bro. So anyway, I'm not even gonna play that because yeah, that's going on. And then without too much, because we can't really look past it, but apparently we didn't put 3,200 troops on the ground out there in Iran, man. So now we not in the skirmish no more. This is actually a war now. And not only are we fucking around over there in Iran, we didn't start fucking around over here with Cuba. We fucking with their shit. They got power outages and shit going on. And I think they finna make a play to try to get Cuba. So in order to do that, they playing them like, their power sources fucked up and they disturbing their shipments and shit. So they can't get food, they can't get, what I mean? Like they just going through it out there at the power. And the power outages is causing kids to die or, like that are on in hospitals hooked up to, you know, life support systems and things like that. So it's a pretty cold game that they playing right now, trying to get power over there so they can, start resorts and shit out there in Cuba, whatever they're trying to do. Mark Rubio. But yeah, man. The troops on the ground is out there in Iran. I ain't gonna get too much time through it because, you know, I really don't know what they got going on. But this is Iran, I think, responding to American troops being out there. Let me see. And they didn't raise the motherfucking age limit of entry into the military to 42 years old, y'all. 42 years old, bro. Who in the fuck wants to go through basic training at 42 years old as a grown ass man with a motherfucker that's half your age in your face, yelling and telling you to get your old ass up and run the mile? Nigga ain't ran a mile in the, you know, at least 15, 20 years. And now you finna have to get up, go get dressed. I mean, it's some motherfuckers that could probably handle it, but that's you're probably not at your peak at 42 for the most part. A lot of y'all out there. And if you are trying to enlist at 42, nigga, you're losing. You're losing. I don't know. I, s- I'm not. You know what I'm saying? No, and then it sounds like to me they gonna be the first motherfuckers they put out there, bro. They gonna be the first motherfuckers to go, and then they gonna put the fresh meat out there after the old niggas go out there and fuck around. I mean, it's some niggas that probably can do some damage, but you know, the Marines are in Iran now, and you trying to do one of those when you running up in through the beach in the water with the gun, getting jammed up at 42. That shit is horrendous at 19, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And there's some dude that was like the second in command under uh, Tulsi Gabbard, I think her name is. Um, and Brad been to war like 11 times, bro. Lost his wife in active duty, and he resigned. He like, nah, I'm good. This is we're fighting this war for, you know, Zaria. We're about to lose lives and all that shit. So not to put a damper on the show, but I hate that. It's got this far. Let's hear what they got to say. Let's see. I'm curious. What they have to say. I ain't seen this one. I kind of seen it as I was loading up. You have to forgive some of the information on my show is a little bit dated because I originally planned to have this show out at least a couple of days earlier, but let me see. Let's do it. Share. Bro, this nigga ain't said not a word of English. President Trump has repeatedly threatened Iran with ground operations and the occupation of some islands in the Persian Gulf. I'm not sure if I want. How long is this? 1 minute and 16 seconds. Let's see if that's what they're saying or not.
تهدید کرده است. رئیس جمهور آمریکا که معروف به دروغ
The president of the United States, who has become known as the most lying president of the world,
ترین رئیس جمهور کشورهای جهان شده است و هیچ ثبات
has
فکری و
no stability of thought or discourse, is not trustworthy in any way. And unfortunately, now you got to understand these people have already made ceasefire treaties and shit that basically America has violated, or at least Israel has, I guess, but maybe America too. So that's
سازمانی ندارد به هیچ عنوان قابل اعتماد نیست و متاسفانه
The leaders of the United States have delegated the authority to command the armed forces to someone.
آمریکا به کسی اختیارات فرماندهی نیروهای مسلح را واگذار نمودند که به دلیل بی‌تعادلی
imbalanced, dangerous, and wrong decisions has led the U.S. Army into a swamp of death. Nigga.
موضع‌گیری ها و تصمیمات خطرناک و غلط ارتش آمریکا را وارد باتلاق مرگ نموده است. رئیس جمهور آمریکا ثابت کرده.
The U.S. president has proven that only language he knows is the language of force.
تنها زبانی که میشناسد زبان زور است. در مقابل تهدیدهای اخیر ترامپ مبنی بر عمل
response to Trump's recent threats of ground operations or occupation of any part of Iranian territory, which is nothing more than a wish.
عملیات زمینی یا اشغال هر نقطه‌ای از سرزمین‌های ایران که البته آرزویی بیش نیست اعلام می‌داریم. رزمندگان اسلام مدت‌ها
We announced that the warriors of Islam have been waiting for such actions for a long time to prove that aggression and
در
occupation
انتظار چنین اقداماتی به سر میبرند تا ثابت نمایند که تجاوز و اشغال نتیجه جز اسارت
anything other than humiliating captivity and dismemberment and disappearance of the aggressors. Oh my goodness.
تحقیرآمیز و قطعه شدن و مفقود شدن متجاوزان را در بر نخواهد داشت و فرماندهان و سربازان آمریکایی
and American commanders and soldiers will become good food for the sharks of the Persian Gulf. Oh my God.
خوراک خوبی برای کوسه‌های خلیج فارس خواهند شد.
Damn. Now, I mean, you know, we all heard threats before, but then I don't know if y'all know this, but Iran is basically fucking Persia. And y'all done heard of Persia before because, you know, when you watch 300, that was who 300 was battling, Persians. Around for long. And I don't think they finna go and get wiped out right now. And again, the only thing they really had to do is not get overtaken. If they could just hang with America, being that they're smaller and less capable, it just makes us look bad. You know what I'm saying? So right now we're in the economic war. I don't know if y'all noticed. Gas might be a little bit higher. It ain't too much higher in some spots, you know, but I'm hearing fertilizer is higher, so farms and shit. This shit is about to get more expensive. It's probably gonna get worse before it get better because this war wasn't supposed to, you know, the skirmish or whatever it is, wasn't supposed to go this long, bro. Trump might have got tricked into a fucking forever war. Because you're not supposed to kill the fucking leader. When you go to war with motherfuckers or in any place, you're not supposed to kill the leader, motherfucker. Now you got another nigga that's gonna come up that's gonna do more damage than the last nigga, and you didn't kill the Pope, bro. Every Muslim on this earth is probably like death to America now, and that's all because we've gotten some bad information from, you know, Israel about locations and shit and about the school. We in this motherfucker now, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to shake back and get up out of this and, you know, be able to kind of. It looks like Trump is trying to, but I don't think they're trying to hear that shit. Would you? Motherfucking killed your religious leader and shit, and then now they want to squash the beef. So anyway, moving right along, we've got a few things that are a little lighter, to say the least. But let's see. It looked like they got AI powered schools. Yeah. So shit. I don't know how I feel. I don't think that's gonna be a good thing. Let's look at that and see what the fuck they talking about, man. Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man.
This is something I have never heard of. So, a school is going to be completely AI with no teachers, and it's opening up in Chicago. Who are the students? They must be geniuses.
They're
'cause there's
recruiting
no way.
students right now. The students are people of whose parents can afford $55,000 a year in tuition. I'll just say that for this
What?
private school. But this is a fascinating story on so many different levels. It's going to be called Alpha Schools. And Alpha Schools is a private school. I don't want to call it a chain, but it's a group of schools that exist in other states, formed out of Austin, Texas. And here's how the day works for these students. K through 8 right now, but eventually they want to make it K through 12. They do essentially all the core academic learning in 2 hours in those booths with AI. And it's very personalized. They interact with the AI. They learn their core subjects, reading, writing, arithmetic, and all the things that we learn. And then the rest of the day is left open to workshops, to entrepreneurial stuff, even for kids as young as second and third grade, business stuff, some arts as well. And that's where they really get their collaboration with other students and problem solving skills in. No teachers. They are hiring, the school is currently. It's going to be downtown. They would love if you have a teaching background, but you don't have to have one. You have to have a bachelor's degree, but you don't have to have any educational experience or even a degree in education, because it's the AI doing the core learning with the student. And then it opens up the rest of the day. Look, AI is coming to our schools in one way or another. There's no doubt about it. Will teachers be okay essentially saying take over computers? Probably not. There's going to be, obviously, this is a private school. They can kind of do what they want here versus the public schools. But I do find it to be a fascinating discussion on where we're going with AI, its capabilities, and how much the education experience is going to embrace this stuff.
I'm all about, technology and teaching our kids advanced learning, like things that we obviously didn't get an education on. My only thing that comes to mind right away is I know, and I've talked to Gabby about this, and I'm sure you will encounter this too as a parent, that when it's time to get your kids into school, even preschool now, especially if they're not going to a public school, it's like applying for college. And so, in a lot of instances, they want your kids to write, right? They want them to even do little essays starting in like kindergarten and things like that. I just don't see how you'll be able to even write your name and things like that if a good portion of that educational component is on the computer. And in fact, I talked to a principal about this, and this is a big issue that they're having as classrooms become more technologically savvy and kids are on iPads and computers. Kids don't know how to write. They don't know how to do a 5 + 5 = 10. And so I just don't know if that becomes a problem later in life. I love the concept. I love the concept of a second grader being able to create a business that could be sustainable, maybe even for the rest of their lives, and start thinking about that. But some practicality you still need. You still may need one day to write your name.
I have this debate all the time with my listeners on the radio because I'm someone who still took penmanship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I now argue that was an hour a day or however long it was completely wasted. What do we care if kids know cursive, right? This is not the way of the future. Why are kindergartners writing out essays anyways? I'm going to get a lot of pushback. I'm sure your viewers will disagree with me too. And a lot of people point to there is some skill and important brain maneuvers happening when you're writing things down, and no doubt. But is that the way of the future, right? Here's one point I'll make, because I know a lot of people are putting up their guard about this and saying, why could this possibly happen? We need teachers in the classroom. And I'm not going to disagree with that. My mom, who was a public school teacher for 40 years, is watching right now. So I'm not going to.
Bro, shut the fuck up and talk. Like, you so many sidebars, bro. Just saying what you're trying to say. Listen, I can say that I have mixed feelings about this, right? I like the idea of them having business and all that thing, but what about when there's a disagreement? What about when there's an issue with the children and one of them may not want to share this or things that come up between children in between uh studying, like somebody touched somebody else's jacket or what I mean, like it's probably nothing to worry about, but it's just who mediates that kind of shit. Um, and does that make your kid weird that he doesn't or she doesn't have a teacher? Like right now, it's kind of hard for me to imagine, you know. But I think as time progresses, they might be able to work out all the bugs. It's my fault because I forgot to put do not disturb on. But yeah, man, it's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I really hope to be at a position where school is really kind of, I mean, just an option and not, mando for me personally, because okay, you don't have to worry about a teacher trying to push certain agendas on your children when there's no teacher. But who's to say that the curriculum or the AI has been designed by somebody that's you know what I mean? Now that lives an alternative lifestyle, and it's kind of like, what's irritating is like a lot of shows are like grooming kids unbeknownst to the parents. And sometimes when I be watching my kids shows with her, there are some things that I don't like. I don't like it. I didn't know that the reason why they made slime green when Nickelodeon was sliming kids is because, like how we have green screens now, they can make it any color they want to make it. So do with that what you will. I just think sometimes we're entirely too trusting of certain things. And yes, something needs to be done in the school. Something I'm gonna get off. I don't know. Something needs to be done. Schooling needs to be updated, but that might be a little too drastic. I do think like I said, the kids need to have more to do with what they learning, so that they're enjoying what's happening. Uh, the core things need to be done for sure, but like I don't think that learning how to write is a waste of time. Anyway, uh, a couple more things. Is that right? There was some explosives found, and some areas out of Maryland that concern me. So I think you guys need to kind of see what's going on with that.
these actions of these numerous devices.
Can you make any
The beginning.
They have found more explosives at a park in the county. It comes after 5 devices were found at Fort Washington Park yesterday. These are the first images that we are seeing of these suspected pipe bombs. Right now, the bomb squad on scene working to make sure the devices are safe, that they may be inert, or that they may be just completely taken off so they don't explode if they are to contain explosives. That's to be determined at this hour. The park remains closed. The FBI, park police, and officials continue to investigate. We've got national security expert Bobby McDonald here with us. Bobby, Fort Washington, not far from the Capitol, but nonetheless not in D.C. What do you make of the possibility that not just that they find 5 of these, but they continue to find at this hour more of those devices? And what does that look like to you when you see that image?
Hey, Marina, great to be back with
Bro, look like he fuck with explosives, but that nigga eat hella, like, he look like he eat hella Reuben sandwiches, bro. On ride with mustard.
you. You know, here we go, starting the week off yesterday and today with a number of different devices. Look, the investigation that we're going to try to put together now is to, one, see if all these devices are connected, see if they're all connected to the same people or group. Is someone going to take ownership of this? Was this an event to try to see what the response would be of first responders to this type of thing and where it happened? A lot of unanswered questions here. You've heard me say it with you many times when I visited with you about situational awareness. We've got to know what's going on in our surroundings when we're traveling, when we're at the park, especially with all that's going on in the world today. So again, there's a lot of different aspects of this, but we've got to figure out who did this, why they did it, and what they were trying to prove to us by these actions of these.
Brad made hella bombs, bro. Them motherfuckers ain't really covered that good, but who was looking for bombs in the park? Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, situational awareness, mothers, you know, with your kids were absent of the father. Fathers, when you're out, you just need to be way more vigilant, man, about what's going on out here, man, and kind of, you know, get outside your comfort zone in your box to to figure out why people, like, the why doesn't matter. You just gotta protect.
Numerous devices.
Can you make anything of the pictures there that you're seeing? Because they definitely don't seem, I mean, I don't want to call it professional or amateur. That's hard to decipher, but this doesn't seem like something that you can purchase. It almost looks homemade.
Looks homemade, but quite frankly, the results are going to be very devastating no matter what's in the makeup of these devices, and depending upon where they were put, were they near where people were in the park and things of that nature. So it doesn't need to be a very professional looking item for it to do a lot of damage if that's what the outcome is, what these people wanted to happen here.
Yeah, certainly. You know, you have parks, obviously, again, not in D.C., just outside, but it can still be devastating nonetheless. How do we track these things? Because you talk about surveillance cameras, pictures, and there's a possibility that you can do something like this and go completely abscond from police and from investigators and never be found or even connected to it. And a park like this may be a place where you test something out before you do something nefarious and something that has a lot more traffic, foot traffic, than a park in Fort Washington. What's your sense as to how police will try and narrow down who exactly is behind these?
Well, I think they're going to be scouring every possible resource they have, whether it's cameras in the surrounding streets, gas stations, Home Depots, schools, whatever's around that area. They're going to be scanning all of those specific types of video and cameras, ring cameras, if there's any residences in that area, even if they're just outside of the park property. They're going to be putting together whatever they can put together to try to piece together the situation here and how we got to here. Look, the weather's starting to break. Yeah. People are going to be out. We want people in the parks. We want people traveling. This may be some type of a test to see what capabilities are out there of the various bomb squads and police and fire entities. Look, you've got the Cherry Blossom Festival going on. You heard me talk last week about the potential of something happening there with more people coming into DC for spring break and the monuments and all of that good stuff that we love about that area. So I think we're going to be looking at these type of things, unfortunately, continuing into the near future until we get these various aspects of national and international issues resolved.
I mean, I think you say something repeatedly here, which is stay vigilant. And I know that sounds cliche and we hear it time and time again, but you can never have be too vigilant, especially as you talk about these soft targets where there are big masses like the Cherry Blossom Festival. And really, you got races happening across DC, multitudes just about everywhere. Bobby, always good to talk to you. And hopefully we'll get more word here from police as to who is behind these devices. Let's continue.
Thank you, Marina.
You got it. More.
Yeah, man. That's unfortunate that we have issues like that. There's another situation where I think a brother and sister was trying to blow some shit up, man. So I'm gonna share that with y'all real quick. Let me see. That might be all I got for who got. I mean, is that right? Nah, man. It was supposed to be another.
A failed bombing attempt at MacDill Air Force Base last week. One is in custody, the other on the run.
And tonight, federal prosecutors are confirming a bomb powerful enough to kill was planted outside of the base's visitors center but never detonated. Alan and Anne Mary Zhang are both charged in connection to that device. Tonight, Anne is in the Pinellas County Jail. The feds say her.
Tonight, two siblings accused in a failed bombing attempt at MacDill Air Force Base last week. One is in custody, the other on the run.
And tonight, federal prosecutors are confirming a bomb powerful enough to kill was planted outside of the base's visitors center but never detonated. Alan and Anne Mary Zhang are both charged in connection to that device. Tonight, Anne is in the Pinellas County Jail. The feds say her brother, Alan Zhang, is in China. In a separate threat that forced a base lockdown, investigators have arrested Jonathan Elder. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Lasser is live for us at MacDill Air Force Base. He's joining us live in just a moment here. This was a huge situation that caused quite a mess all last week.
Yeah, this is the back end of the story as we continue to bring you more details. You saw the two pictures right there. And again, a third person remains at large. We are efforting Eric's live shot, but we got information from the FBI when they found that IED, an improvised explosive device, that they had suspects within hours after actually locating that. But we told you about this as breaking news on here and online.
This investigation went very quickly. The FBI says that they had those suspects within hours. Eric Lasser is live for us tonight. Eric. Oh, we do not have Eric live, but let me run you through the timeline here because we did get that as well. It was a very specific timeline. March 10th, prosecutors say Alan Zhang planted that IED at the visitor center. The next day, they say Alan and Anne bought tickets to China and sold the car used to get that device to the base. March 12th, both siblings flew to China. 4 days later, Air Force security found the device. And then it was March 17th that they say that Anne Zhang returned to the United States, landing at the Detroit airport. March 18th, she came back to Tampa, and that is when new threats were made. And we are told that that was made by another man. These are separate from the improvised explosive device that was found. Jonathan Elder was arrested for those phone calls, and he remains in the Pinellas County Jail tonight. And if he is convicted, he will face up to 10 years in federal prison. Do we have Eric now? All right, let's go live right now to MacDill Air Force Base with Eric Lasser. Hi, Eric.
Hey, guys. Yes, and you just were laying out that timeline that federal prosecutors were laying out for us today. They are calling this an attempted bombing here at MacDill Air Force Base, and the efforts they say that it took for them to track down those who they say are responsible.
We're here to discuss the bombing investigation coming out of MacDill Air Force Base.
Prosecutors say 20-year-old Alan Zhang planted an improvised explosive device outside the base's visitor center back on March 10th.
The device did not detonate, but minutes after the device was planted, a 911 call reported that a bomb had been placed on the base.
Authorities say that.
Man, wow. They on Air Force bases. And this is why we say like the sleeper cell shit is kind of real, bro. Not even kind of.
Call was short and with no details as to where it had been placed. They searched for days. CENTCOM, SOCOM, airplane hangars. It was found in a secluded area at the visitor center outside the main gate 6 days later.
The FBI safely removed the device and determined it was, in fact, an IED.
Investigators traced the 911 call to Zhang, but prosecutors say the suspect and his 27-year-old sister, Anne Mary Zhang, fled to China before the device was discovered. She is charged with helping her brother conceal evidence by selling the car involved. Alan, they say, is still in China, and Mary flew back a day later and was taken into custody. They're working to have him brought back and say there's no indication that either had any foreign government connections.
You're asking me what is the motive, what is the potentially political viewpoint of these individuals that would cause them to do this. It's unknown. They obviously felt quite strongly about something or anything that the United States government was doing.
While investigators work to bring Zhang back to the U.S., they say the case is far from over.
The investigation has...
They're not finna get his ass, bro. He done if he come back. Yeah, it don't fucking matter what their motivations was. I mean, it might matter to some, but 6 fucking days, bro, to find a bomb, like that might have been just to see how long they could, like, and if they could get that done. I'm not gonna go back to that, bro. I'm actually. It was a story about some women that didn't pay their tab at a restaurant. It was like 4 of them, and they all stabbed each other, and they were related. I'm like, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was $400 or something, I guess. I don't know, and they just could have paid $100. No. You know what I mean? Like, pay your part, but look, it need, and it's, what was. You need to split the bill up. Just, when you come in, tell them, I'm going to a table. You go to the bar, you order what you're going to order, and then you go to the table that they're going to be at, and you have them bring it to your table. And you tell them to charge you separately. And there you go. You ain't got to worry about joining your bill with a whole bunch of people and everybody ordering up, lobster tails and shit, like they getting in and how you try to tag team their bill with them. Like, no, you order a bunch of shit that you would never order, filet mignon and all that shit, bitch, you got to pay that. You got to pay for that. Your bill alone is $142 for one person. You pay that shit. All this honor shit, I guess, is out the window. Motherfuckers who don't want to take accountability. Anyway, man, that's pretty much all I got for, is that right? But we got a couple of doozies on Celebrity Spotlight. So Celebrity Spotlight is exactly what it sounds like. It's about celebrities. And one of them is fucking Justin Timberlake. Apparently Justin Timberlake got a DUI and a DWI, and it don't look good. It's a lot of that going on right now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the time of year. I don't know. But let's take a look at that real quick.
You're keep veering off to the left, and then you're not stopping at the stop signs.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is it?
It's just a rental.
It's a rental? Okay. Do you have any registration with it? Do you know if they can put it in the glove box?
He looks so suspect. One.
How long are you renting it for?
Can't think his way out that shit.
Just for a couple days.
What are you visiting?
Yeah, I'm on tour.
What are you doing?
I'm on a world tour.
A what?
A world tour.
Doing what?
Bro, act like he don't know who he is and shit.
Hard to explain. A world tour. I'm Justin Timberlake.
What's
For
your
me?
name?
Justin Timberlake.
You are Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
You have a license with you?
Yeah, I do.
And then when we do this, just like you're doing right now, arms, feet together, arms by your side. You're doing it just now. I'm just going to re-explain it before we continue, okay? Arms by your side, feet together, and then you're going to keep your head straight and just keep your head straight. Only follow with your eyes, okay?
Okay.
You understand that? All right.
Yes, sir.
I don't know y'all this shit, bro. Apparently failed. What y'all think he on, bro? Probably on that powder.
So left foot on the line. Left foot on the line first. And then you're going to put your right foot in front of your left, stay just like that. Okay? You're going to be heel to toe like this. Heel to toe.
Nope.
Put your left foot on the line. Yep. You're going to have your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe.
That shit over with.
Here. Okay, so we're going to put our left foot on the line first. Put your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe.
He might
You can stay just like that, okay?
Haircuts on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to jail
So it's going to be a
tonight.
series of small of 9 heel to toe steps. I will demonstrate this like you're doing right now, like this. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9.
Yeah, bro, sober to the motherfucker. Your ass can't do that shit, but your ass going to jail, boy. And that's just what it is. So, yeah, I'm a, nah, fuck it. Let's see.
Followed by a series of small steps.
He looks stressed out.
1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9 back. This is going to be heel
You
to
see his
toe.
mind moving, boy. He trying to think of some shit.
Arms by your side. While you're doing this, you're going to look down at your toes.
Guys, I'm just following my friends back to my house. I'm not doing anything. I'm just following my friends back to my house.
Will you do these tests?
Sure. And then just
Can't
walk.
talk your way out. Ooh.
Here, ready?
I'm a little nervous.
Left,
Just
right foot in front.
Nigga, your ass high.
Ready? 1, 2,
okay.
3,
Got you.
4, like that.
So
Okay. Hang on. Let him tell you when to go. Let him tell you when to go. You gotta tell me to start. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
No, I want to make sure. We want to make sure you do this right.
Right foot in front of your left.
Is this my line?
Perfect. Yep.
Imaginary line you make, that's the line
I'm trying to get it right, but he gonna be cover his hell, man.
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000.
Yeah. He going to jail, just though he going to jail, cuz. That's right. That was when he realized it's over with. Look at that face, boy. He's like, oh yeah, this is bad. He going to jail. He's trying to talk himself. I was like, guys, listen, guys. I'm just following my friends back to that. Bro, you going to jail. You ain't going. Anyway, next up is Tiger motherfucking Woods. Same shit, not same shit, worse shit. Because Brad is like, he rolled a motherfucking car on the freeway and shit, or on the freeway on the street. And, just dumb shit. I want to hear what else he done over the last, because it sounds like Brad is he just been doing dumb shit a lot. Let's get a look at that real quick. That's going to be funny. For sure.
Our DUI investigators came to the scene here, and Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment. Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew triple zeros, but when it came time for us to ask for a urinalysis test, he refused, and so he's been charged with DUI, with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test.
Right? If he blew a zero, then let that nigga go, man. But I mean, if he, I don't know what
They
happened.
believe from on scene that he was not impaired on alcohol. They believe it was some type of medication or drug.
So he already knew the
Well,
deal.
that's a Florida.
Tiger smart. Ain't drunk, but you fucked up on something, man. Hey, man, look.
Sheriff who's detailing the rollover.
Look at this nigga face, bro. He old. Ooh, man, bro.
Car crash involving Tiger Woods.
It's the latest in a string of troubling incidents for the golf legend over the last 16 years.
Former PGA golfer Mark Lyde joins us now to react. Mark, good to see you this morning. You know, a tragic situation on one hand. On the other hand, a repeated situation. How do you read this, especially in relation to Tiger's role with professional golf and kind of the way that he's held up by so many?
I don't want to hear all that.
It's just a weird situation to me. Having played the tour for 20 years and been in broadcasting for 25, I just wonder when enough is enough. You know, the game that we all play and we love takes so much discipline, mentally, physically.
Yeah, but Tiger ain't got it no more, man. He don't gotta be disciplined like that when he's successful, I guess. He's fucking everybody wives, allegedly, and he getting fucked up. And hey man, they said he might get off because he ain't got no real evidence. He ain't took no urinalysis. So he know how to play the game, bro, but I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do. I had another one, but it's kind of old. And let me see. That's pretty much all I got for. I mean, Gene Deal and Mace was arguing, and Emrek got that together. I guess they found out that Sean didn't beat up Gene Deal when he was on, Puff Daddy Security. There was like Sean had alluded to he had whooped on somebody's security.
It was in Kansas City. Is one of the
And he Gene Deal wanted him to say a name, clear it up. Then we was arguing, but it's been kind of a, I don't know. It might be some other shit that's going on with celebrities. I don't care to talk about right now, but that's pretty much all I got. Now, on Worldview, they keep talking about the transatlantic slave trade now. Like I think that like they're trying to move to go over past America, and I mean Africa is trying to go past America and actually talk to the UN about getting, reparations, which would fuck up our shit. But I think the Democrats are involved in some way or another with trying to keep from having to pay out for reparations. They are sending the Democratic shields like what is his name? He used to be fat. Al Sharpton. And I think that's it's causing a problem because like I said, they America don't want to pay. The Democrats want to not pay for it, but they want to look like they're instrumental in trying to help get us. But Ghana is pushing to get reparations, and it's like, but you guys were the ones selling. How you gonna get some help like y'all? But so that's why. American Democratic shields are there because the Democrats want to look like they're instrumental in trying to facilitate this whole thing without actually it's game, bro. It's top level bullshitter game, but it's game. So this is kind of, I don't know if I really want to hear all this shit, but you know what? I don't want to hear all this shit because they finna just say a whole bunch of dumb shit. I'm telling y'all what's going on, bro. Africa is trying to dilute our shit, and I agree with Tariq on that shit. But it should have been a celebrity spotlight. I forgot about 19 Keys going on to he's on supposedly on Hidden Color 6. And he's been around Tariq, but he said some disparaging things about Tariq behind his back on other platforms and shit. And Tariq was throwing out, should he take 19 Keys out of the film because of the remarks? But he was saying if he did, it would, it'll fuck up the film aesthetically. So he was torn about leaving him in. I don't think I would be upset if you left him in if what he said was valid. But I can understand you not fucking with him no more after this. Because I think Brad's on the take. I think he's been bought. And because of that, he has these things to say because he's in rooms with not necessarily enemies. Because I don't think that Africans are together are enemies. I just think that, there is a large number of them who are here primarily that don't care for us in a way. They have poor opinions of us, and they try to throw rocks and hide their hands. And so, now that Brad's in cahoots with them on certain levels, because they do have a lot of shit in Africa as far as like minerals and shit like that can be used to do other things, but this on the short term thing, it's just like we're not gonna kiss y'all's ass for y'all to keep. We've already showed y'all how much we fuck with y'all, but the feeling wasn't mutual. So, at any rate, that was something that transpired as far as like Celebrity Spotlight, but that's going on throughout the world, and that's besides the war. So that's pretty much all I got as far as that. And then we have Don't Be a Weirdo. Now, on today's segment of Don't Be a Weirdo, we got a weirdo of this was surpasses weirdo. This shit is like it's like deep into the sickening and it's really irky. But I had another person pulled up weirdo of the week. You know what? Nah, I gotta let it rock. This is it. This is it. And one of my people send me, suggestions and stuff via other platforms. So I'm gonna go over to TikTok to show this. But it's a young lady who has done the unthinkable. Apparently, Alabama mother sexually, abused her own child, her son. Let's take a look.
She got caught F-ing her 6-year-old son. This nasty bitch recorded it. She tied him up. She tied his eyes, blindfolded him, tied up his, covered his eyes up and everything, and made him give her. Yeah. No, I can't say it. Keep up. That's what she did. That's what she did. This mama, this young black mama, she did that. I'm lost in so many words of terms. And then she had the nerve to record it. She recorded it, y'all. She recorded the shit. She recorded it and sent it to somebody. She sent it to this pervert over here. She sent it to him because he was just as nasty because he got locked up too because he's some coach somewhere. His name is Robert Sanders. He's a coach somewhere down there in Montgomery, Alabama. He is a coach working with y'all sons. And they charge him with some shit too.
So her name is Breon Renee Smith, 29, Montgomery, Alabama. Is the mother who was charged with such a horrid crime. And the nigga Robert Henry Sanders, the fourth, he is the nigga that she sent it to. He works in at some school in Alabama as a coach. So I'm sickened by that, bro. That's so crazy. I mean, you would expect some shit like that, maybe from, you know, somebody that's not your parent. This nigga mama tied him up or tied us like blindfolded him and had her have him give her fellatio, bro, and then recorded it. Hey, and what this nigga want to look at it for? Like you didn't turn the bitch in. Like y'all need to get burnt up, bro. I don't know. But don't be a fucking weirdo, bro. That's weird, man. That's weird. That's way past weird. But anyway, bro, that's all I got for that. And the last segment is who got active. And I don't know if you understand this, but we as black people are under attack in so many different ways, man. There was a dude that was saying that there was a lot of items in Dollar Tree during the holiday season that were Kwanzaa and these and that, like coffee mugs and shit. And he was like, they were all testing them for like they high for lead and shit. So not only is the items that we're trying to buy regular, I mean, you know, like we're under attack. Like they're putting different chemicals in hair care products that are designed for African American hair. And I think the commissioner or something of Wayne County has proposed something to do something about that. So let's hear about that.
In Wayne County is taking aim at a hidden risk, toxic chemicals in hair products marketed to Black women.
It's called Our Hair, Our Health. CBS News Detroit's Lauren Winfrey is getting answers on the significance of the resolution and why supporters say it's about more than protecting beauty.
Often considered a story of resilience, the history of Black women's hair in America is complex.
This is very personal to me.
According to a report from Emory University, in the late 19th century, many Black people turned to hair straightening to avoid discrimination. By the 1950s, chemical straighteners became mainstream, but in the 60s, the Black is Beautiful movement pushed back. And today, with laws like the Crown Act, more Black women are embracing their natural hair, especially in a city like Detroit, widely known as the hair capital of the world.
We have to advocate for ourselves because if we don't, no one else will.
A thought prompting Wayne County Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick to introduce a resolution calling for clearer safety standards and banning harmful ingredients in hair products she argues Black women are disproportionately exposed to.
We want it to be clear that they cannot have these cancer-causing toxic chemicals. Right now, it's optional. We don't.
What's her name again? Monique Baker McCormick. Shout out to you. You are our activated individual of the week. For sure.
We want it to be clear that they cannot have these cancer-causing toxic chemicals. Right now, it's optional. We don't want there to be any options on the table.
An effort that will take time, and for some in the industry, adjustment. Even stylists like Shania Clark, who prioritize natural products, say it won't be easy.
Will it be a bad thing? Absolutely not. Will it be a good thing? Yes and no, because we're going to need something to substitute everything that we use to do our hair.
The resolution also highlights the need for education and culturally informed solutions.
Get educated, stylists, so we can, as a whole and as a culture, really change the trajectory of what's happening in the industry.
If adopted into law, Wayne County would become a national leader in regulating these products, resulting in safer products on store shelves. Until then, Commissioner Baker McCormick says this is about starting the conversation and protecting the health of future generations. Clark agrees.
I think that the focus is definitely here to stay.
Getting answers in Detroit. Lauren Winfrey, CBS News, Detroit.
And that's been the show, y'all. I got to get out of here. I still got other things that need to happen, but I hope that I was able to get y'all week off to a good start. And I'll see y'all next time. That's been the show. It's Jamerson Ballard signing off. Y'all have a wonderful week.